Welcome back, folks. So I think we're going to do some continuation on getting our reputation built up, and I think I'm going to end up getting that Dolphin so that we can get it kitted out and do some passenger missions and earn better credits. So that may take a little bit because it looks like a lot of these missions are fairly diverse. So before we get started, I want to thank you for tuning in, whether it's on Twitch or on YouTube. And don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share, follow if you're following me on Twitch or watching from Twitch. And everything's greatly appreciated. The more we can get, the more funding that I have, and the more I can back to you guys, and also get into the channel or the Twitch stream, and we can get things up and running. So let's get going here. Go into open play. As usual, everything is unedited. It's uploaded or streamed exactly how it comes out. So keep that in mind. So this is raw and unedited, and this is my second account. If you're new to the series, I highly recommend going from the beginning. You'll be able to follow along a little better and kind of see what I've done so far and why I'm doing the various things that I'm doing. So we are still in our Cobra. Let's see what the mission board has for us. Alright, so controlling faction, we're still a little down. I might end up just doing one of these black box salvage missions. Let's see. Alright. So I'd like to at least get things up to cordial like this one is. Looks like we've got a few there. Just out of curiosity, let's have a look at the passenger lounge. Let's see here. Reputation. So here's some that we can start doing. We just need to get the passenger or the cabins for it. There's some more. Excellent. This one's a little picky. Okay. So let's see if we can simultaneously get some credits built while increasing our rep so that we can get to. Let me check. I don't remember if Alley Ring has the. Oop, wrong button. It does. So we need to get up to 1.3 million so we can purchase that, as well as some of the other things. Let me show you a site that I use. It's rather handy. It's called Coriolis. So it should pop up here if I click ships. Dolphin. So here's your standard loadout. So with the standard loadout on the Dolphin, you get a 5E economy class passenger cabin and some cargo racks, which isn't that impressive. But you can change this up a little bit. I think I used to run mine without any weapons, so we'll take those off. I'm right clicking that and it just automatically removes it. And let's see. So I'll leave all this the same for now. So the way the passenger cabins work is the higher the class, the less space or the less number of passengers you can carry, even if it's in a bigger size. So with this 5E, it's economy, so we can get 16 passengers in it. If we go down to a business class, actually let's stay, yeah, so even with the 5E to the 5D, you go from 16 down to 10 for economy versus business. Now if we go down to first class, that'll take us down to 6, and then luxury, the only ones you can have the luxury on are the Dolphin, the Beluga, and still can't remember the name of the other one, but so that's something to keep in mind. The luxury, you can get 4 people or 4 passengers in. So I think the way I used to have it, let's dump these cards. Oop, I did not mean to do that. So let's put a shield back in there. Now let's just, here. This will be easier. Click, click. We'll drop those. We'll change this to a luxury. And I think I used to have it to where I had one set of each. Passenger cabins. Here we go. So this was first class. Passenger cabin. There we go. And then business. And economy. So it doesn't give you a lot of room. And if we actually look, let's pull the interface back up. We'll get rid of this. Oh, did not mean to do that. Let's go to the passenger lounge and see how many of those that we could actually do would are luxury, because luxuries, they pay better, but they're more rare to pick up. Come on. There we go. So even these ones we can do economy, economy, economy. Most of these are economy. So let's start from the bottom. So there's a business for 67,000, 4 people. These are all economy. There's another business and economy. So it helps just to take a peek. Like here's a first class. So that's 3 people for first class. You get 242,000 out of it, as well as some firmware and some regulators, things like that. There's another first class. That one is almost $1 million by itself. It's a sightseeing adventure. Let's take a look. So they want to go to the ice geysers, and you can see it right up here. So the ice geysers and that visitor beacon. So you can see it down here, the destination in the system. So it's 3 different places to go, 72 light years, 131, and 178 light years away. So there's 15 hours you have to do it in, but it is something that's feasible. The demanding can get, so they may make demands, things like that, and we can get into that. I won't get too far into detail for now, but you notice that none of these so far are luxury. Some of these that we may not be able to do yet may be the luxury passengers. So that's something to consider once you get higher missions. So there's seeking transport. That's the kind of stuff that you like, because it's 10 people, so, but it doesn't have the, let's see if we can find one real quick. Okay, so you see the little crowns on these? That means that they will not share a cabin with other passengers. So the fact that these 10 tourists, you can put them in whatever class they want or higher, so they can do first class or higher. So if we can get these transported, there's 403,000, and if we look, they only need to go, let's see, oh, that's, so it's only 14,000 light seconds. So they're going to Robson HUD, hub in this this system, which is 20,000, or excuse me, 20 light, less than 20 light years away. So it's lucrative. But for now, we're still in our Cobra. We don't have the Dolphin yet. So if we go back to our... So none of those were luxuries. So if we slide all of these up, like we take this luxury and turn it into a first class, turn it into a business, and we take this business, turn it into an economy, and then this economy and turn it into, well, I guess it stays economy, but and then you always want to have at least one. Did I miss the cargo? One cargo rack to have at least 4 tons, so that if you get some missions will give you some cargo or things that some items, and if you don't have room for it, you can't accept the mission. So you want to always have at least, I recommend at least 4 tons of cargo. So here we can do 6, 6, 4, and 2. So that's kind of something that that may be worth setting up. We may even want to cut out the first class and put another first class here. So that's just something to consider. Okay, there we go. So we'll keep that there for now, and then once we get a little bit of credits built up, then we can consider that and go from there. So let's go to the mission board. Seems like it's awfully slow today. Alright. So I primarily still want to try to get some of these. Oh, there's our Federal Navy supply mission that we can't do. Oh, what a pain in the ass. Alright, so there's a find and supply. Let's see, these are data. How many of them are going to the same place? Kokajina, oh, that's a Gardi. That's awesome. So there's 2 that we can do with triple rep. So let's pick those up. Why not? Assassinate. This might be lucrative for feeling spry. Assassinate Pirate Lord. How good is he? He's an expert. That might be good for some credits, but we'll come back to that. Let's take a look. We did Hangardi. Good deal. So here's a delivery of 15 units for 207,000. Let's pick that one up. Let's see if we can find any more of those Hangardi ones. And return. Nope. Alright, what else we got? Shangthini. Oh, these are Massacre. So that one's out, sadly. LTT, Kokajina, Kronos. Famine data needs transportation. Kronos might be worth it. See if there's any other ones. Assassinate. So if we take that one, we can end up in that system at the right time, because if you look, these usually have a time frame on them. Or did they get rid of that? They did, it looks like. There used to be a time frame. It'd be, you know, it'll be in this system between this time and that time, and it was just a little bit inefficient. FSD interdictor will enable you to pull your targets out of super cruise. So, if you're going to do this kind of mission, you want to have an interdictor, which we do not have. So let's see, illegal black box salvage. Chowie Rapport. There's not a bad one. Mostly influence though. Reputation's the same across there, so you can take the money. So let's see if there's any Wallapur. Excuse me. Wallapalor. Let me get that right. Oh, there's more. Oh, there's a bunch of those up here. I only thought, oh, well then. That one doesn't have any. That one does. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Wallapalor. Let's do it. It probably takes the other ones out of the equation though, because it'll fill up our cargo. Ant XE. Any of those? Just that one. That was Wallapalor. Wallapalor. So, we can also do a boom data delivery. Alright. So we got data and deliveries. Alright, galaxy map. Where are we? Oh, there we go. Oh, those are a little further away, huh? Let's go to Hangardi first. Station 1, Station 2. Fair enough. Plot the route. And we're looking at one jump. Sweet. Currently sitting at 413,000 credits.
Detach is good. You may leave when ready.
Frameshift drive charging.
us a bonus? Because that would be awesome. Let's take a look. 20,000 time bonus. All right, I'll take that. How much time? I didn't even look. 24 minutes. Yeah, we should be able to do that. Right, right. So, essentially, I'm going to use the credits where it's a large number of credits. If it's over, I don't know, 250,000, we'll just take the credits. But if it's not, then we'll go for the rep. Because if we can lace a few high-paying missions in with the rest of the reputation missions, we should still get there at a fairly decent rate. That should be good enough. Henrik's Gateway. Yeah, don't be shy, guys. Go ahead and pop into the stream and see if I'm around. If not, feel free to click the follow button, and that way you can get notified when I go online, and you can pop in and maybe even have a chat with me in the chat room. I am not against any of that by any means. Request docking. You don't want to get into a station and have them shoot you down. 14. There she be.
Landing gear deployed.
You have to remember one thing that you may or may not have deduced already. Is when we looked earlier, oop, wrong button. There's 2 seats in this cockpit. So there's a seat right there. So that means that the center of the ship is right here. So when you land it, you want to line yourself up slightly left of center, and then you'll come in on that landing diagram, usually fairly close. Refuel. Let's get some money and some rep. Come on. Come on. So this is a low-paying one, so we're going to take the reputation.
Incoming message.
And this is a high-paying one, so we're going to take... Ooh. Alright, we'll take that. The low rep and the money on this one. And while we're in here, let's look, see if there's anything. So if we take a look, let's start stacking this stuff. So this one is to Hangardi, Wallapalur, Wallapalur. So that being said, let's look for anything that's mining rush. We're obviously not going to be able to mine for things right now. Oh, strike contract figures. And all right now. So we want things that that will be easily done. Mining rush obviously isn't going to be one of them. Source and return obviously isn't going to be one of them either. Kokajina, boom data delivery, where to? Alley Ring. See, there's another one that will increase our rep. So, let's take that one. After all, it is boom data, and data does not take up space. Mining rush, nope. Nope, that's it for that one. Alright.
Fly smart, fly safe, reduce your
Alright, now
inside the docking bay.
should be another one. Yep. Stott City. Let's go. Because I'm not entirely sure which one. I suppose I could look to see which one we got the potential time bonus on. We're gonna go up and hard left. Let's go. You can do jump to the next location, or you can just jump into Super Cruise, whichever works best for you. Pardon me 1 second, I'm gonna check something. Alright. Go. So let's prep ourselves to come in at the right spot. And just for the heck of it, let's make sure we got the right place. Alright, Stott City, excellent. So just that one stop, we're already up to 650,000. So we've put our 200 and I don't know, about 50 to about 245,000, I think, on top of what we had. And I'm guessing we went past a planet, something that slowed us down a little bit. I don't think it would slow us down this far from our destination. It's possible I'm wrong. We're still slowing down, so I don't know. Oh, there we go. Yep. That'll do it quite nicely. going past the planet, so if we hit 12 seconds, there we go. I'm going to throttle up again. And then as soon as we get back down to 7, then I'll cut the throttle, and that usually is enough to get you past where the gravitational pull is slowing you down. Isn't that pretty? Almost right into the slot.
Hello, Sierra Lima, India. This is Federal Flight Control. Request docking if you wish to land.
Pad 3-4.
Landing permission granted. Assigned to landing pad 3-4.
Yeah, I'll come in on the green side. In the back again.
Landing gear deployed.
So we'll put the target in the middle, but we'll be just to the left.
200 meters from touchdown. Landing successful. Engines disengaged.
Which one are we turning in today? Famine data. That's a reputation one.
Incoming message.
Alright, let's take another look, see if we can get anything to... What's the other system name? Nope, not that one. Wallapalor. Or our home system. Boom data delivery to Alley Ring. You betcha. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Because even though you're picking it up here, you're dropping it off there, so you're still increasing your reputation with that that faction at both locations. Is the best way to look at it. Guardy. Nope. On to the next. Next up, Wallapalor. Got 2 here. How far out is that? Oh, it's not too bad. Let's take a look. Reputation.
Minimum clearance distance.
Oh, now we're up to 690,000.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Access corridor is clear.
Yeah, and I used to fly out of these things all the time, but I don't know. You run into a couple ships coming in a few times, and just kind of took the
Make way for
value
onboard
of
traffic.
the
Restrict
speed
your
out of it for me. That, and I guess I kind of play this game a little bit to relax, and being go, go, go all the time, it, I don't know, makes it a little less fun.
Incoming mission critical message.
Make sure and scan our system. And we may even look into turning that in for a little bit of cash as well. Alright, down we go. So what is our new message? Ooh, 40,000 time bonus. Nice. Like I said in a previous episode, you usually only get those when you drop into a system. In my experience, anyway. So it's usually, if you can complete it in that amount of time for the system you're in, it's usually not too hard. Like we got a half an hour on that one. There's no way we're still going to be in this system in half an hour. So even if it is the other station and not this one we're headed to right now, we still shouldn't have to worry about losing that time bonus. 7. Take her in. So, because of our proximity to this planet, it's probably going to slow us down a little bit. And as per usual, if it gets up to 12 seconds, I'll speed it up. Yep. And 12 seconds isn't like a defined point where something will happen if you do it earlier or later. It's just a point that I have set to where I usually will speed up.
Access granted. You are go for approach to pad 04.
04, that's not good. Oh, okay. Those low numbers, you gotta pay attention to, because a lot of times they'll be right in the front. And if you come in at any amount of speed, usually you'll miss it and you'll have to back up or...
300 meters from touchdown.
Station.
Docking confirmed. Securing ship. You may have seen reports of disease outbreak on your Galnet feed, Commander. No cause for alarm just yet, but be careful.
Nope, didn't see anything about disease. It's usually not something you have to worry about. That's just the status of the system. It usually means one thing or another. So this is a low value one as well, so let's do the rep. I suppose we need to check, see if there's anything that we can pick up for on the way back. I don't remember it taking that long to load that though. Maybe it's my network, or maybe they just slowed things down so that people weren't board hopping. Walla Palur, source and return. Nope. Yeah.
Fly responsibly. Ensure you complete docking procedures within your allotted time window.
Nothing else here. So, actually, while I'm in here, let me show you something. So, when you come back and you do repair all, that does not necessarily repair your entire ship. What that does is, think of it like repairing the main modules, but you know, just like your car, you take it, you get it washed, things like that. But the paint and all that stuff still wears down, and your structural integrity also wears. So if you go down to advanced maintenance, there is a repair here for ship integrity. You want to keep an eye on this because this basically stands for, if you take it all the way down to 0% ship integrity, or 1%, or however you want to look at it, you will lose automatically 30% of your armor strength. So it's like if you got 0% integrity because you never come in here and you never look at it, and you go into a battle, you're automatically starting off 30% lower on your armor than you should be. And the lower it gets, the more expensive it gets. So I'm just gonna take care of it now and also do the paint while I'm at it. So, whoop, did not mean to do that. Exit. Should have another one in this system. Nezvadbadak.
Be aware of oncoming traffic in the access corridor. Observe minimum clearance distance.
Loading gear retracted.
Clear of the landing pad. You may leave when ready.
Speed limit's 100. If you're doing 100, apparently you're speeding. Light seconds out. Alright.
Frameshift drive charging.
We'll wait till we're in Super Cruise to make sure we got the right system. Excuse me, the right dock for our next stop. Yep. Wait for everything to speed up. Because it's a dock, I'm not entirely worried about orientation, so. But let's do a spin approach on this one. Anyone who's ever seen Chronicles of Riddick knows kind of what this looks like. If you remember, we don't have the cool little trailing edges, but that's essentially what he did in there when he was in cryos. No, it wasn't cryo. Was it cryo sleep? I think it was. And you can even slow it down if you want, so that it's less disorienting. And but the nice thing about this is then all you need to adjust your heading is your keyboard if you want it. There's a front view, back view, lower back view. Here we are in the cockpit. From the other seat. Come right behind us. Behind us, behind us. And there's the front. And we're 7 out, so we'll cut it to 75%. And now you can see how far off we actually were from way back where we started flying towards the dock. So once we wait for the ship to rotate a little bit, we'll adjust it with just the keyboard. So I'm holding down that right button. And if you really wanted to, you could just grab your mouse and move it up here, but but sometimes the docks are moving. Actually, they're usually moving, but usually it's slow enough that it isn't extremely visible. So it is possible to be denied docking requests at these outposts like this. Usually that means there's somebody else there on, and all of their docks are full. So we don't want 3, we want number 2, which is up further. So we're just going to come around the back side of this and then just swing on in. I'm boosting left and turning right with the keyboard. And then boosting right to line ourselves up. There we go. Now this should put us over $1 million if I remember correctly. Loading. Alright. Yep, 430,000. Could go for the rep, but I also want to work on our credits because, as I showed you earlier, we can get the Dolphin, and then we can just do passenger missions and do more exploring. It's kind of the whole point of the game, so we're going to take the credits on this one. And let's see if we got anything going back to Kokojina. Donate 750,000. I'm gonna go with no. Same with 25,000. All right. So all we should have left in. Oh dang it! So, ooh, that actually works. I did not know about that. So usually I go all the way down through here, but if you pop in here by accident, it starts you on the first line, but you can go up, right, and then down, and then you'll be on exit. So you kind of got to go around the world, so to speak. But there is a way to not have to scroll all the way down. So up, right, down, and then you can exit. Promotion to merchant. Ooh. How about that? We'll have to change our paint out, or our logo out, once we get back to our home station. I don't know, it's just something that you can do. It's a little entertaining. So all we should have left is alley ring and alley ring. So, yeah, heck, we're here. Let's just open the galaxy map. And we'll use our bookmarks, because it's faster. And it's one jump.
Landing gear retracted. Ship raised. Engines engaged.
And we're now sitting at a cool 1.1 million again.
Frameshift drive charging.
So one more set of decently sized missions, and we'll be able to pick up a Dolphin.
Incoming mission critical message. Fuel station.
Smell a time bonus.
Fuel tank disengaged.
On both of them, 5,000. Meh, chump change. These are more for rep than they are for credits. So. I think that bottom side should have our door in it. Let's have a look real quick. There it is. Yep. Making sure we got the right bearing on our station here. And if the stations confuse you at first, don't feel bad, because if you don't know, so usually the station rotates on an axis. Like there was if you took a box that had this same number of sides and looked the same as this, and you stuck a stick through the mail slot and through the back side and you spun it on that axis, that is the axis that these stations spin on also. And you'll notice right now there aren't any arrows on the station diagram down in our left side there. But once we drop out of Super Cruise, it actually shows them. So that'll also help you orient yourself with the actual mail slot. Because I remember when I first started playing this game, there was multiple times where I would be flying around like, where the heck is this thing? And it got kind of annoying, and once I figured that out, it was a lot easier. So, if you notice, I will hold still and not rotate with the station, and you can see how it's rotating counterclockwise on the mail slot.
This port is under federal control. Submit your randomized security scans on approach. Okay, Commander. Make your way to landing pad number 27.
Landing gear deployed.
boost this rep once it gets us in here and loaded. Take the reputation. And reputation is the same across the board on this one. So let's take the money on this one. Alright. So we're 1.2, we're getting there. Pretty darn quick, if I do say so myself. So let's see what else we've got for options. There's another Walla Pelor. Source and return we don't want any part of. Let's see if we find another decent paying ones, or those that are going to the same system. Deliver. So there's a couple decent paying ones. Zai Ofuchi and Tao Ofuchi. So let's go back to the bottom and see if there's any that go to those systems. Well, here's one for power down. But I don't want to put, and I don't even think we can put a vehicle hanger in this thing. Probably can. But I don't want to do that at this point. So there's deliver 18 units. Oh, this is the one we looked at. Okay, so 336 is the best one. Circtandus. So this is a follow-on mission, that's why it's got the chain above the thing right here. And we don't want to do a scan job at the moment. Salvage. Chronos. They love putting that Federal Navy out of reach, don't they? But I'm not worried about it. I just think it's funny. Well, they're really spreading things out, aren't they? So there's a Tao Ofuchi. So we may be able to stack that one with the one we were looking at earlier. Not a lot of high paying stuff though. So there's a, oh, that's a salvage contract, okay. So let's pick this one up. Ziofuchi. Let's see where that one's at in reference to the other one. Well, it's not far. Get us another 277,000. Why not? Where was it? There it is. Doesn't have good reputation, so I'm actually not even thinking about bothering with it. But it goes to block hub. Where's that other one going? See, that one's going to Robson hub. So sadly, we're gonna skip out on that. All right, let's see if we can get something with some decent credits. Nopey, nopey, nope. We may have to pick up an FSD interdictor and do some hunting here in a little bit. Or perhaps another time, but... Rabid squirrel. You know what, let's do this one anyway, just because you notice that this one is still neutral, whereas all these other ones, except for this one, yeah, well, alright. So we'll stay away from the planetary stuff for now. We'll do some high rep Kurovi. Yeah, so we'll pick that one up. And one from here with the triple rep. Just so we can get them up out of neutral. Alright, what's our gap? Oh wait. Let's change our library. Cobra. Alright, so trade merchant instead of trade dealer. Difference is the wings get a little bit longer and the V underneath gets a little bit bigger. That's the other thing that we were going to do. Let's go to Universal Cartographics and see what we can get for a page. Ooh, that's not much. Why not? Alright, let's take a look and see what our galaxy map looks like. So, I'm thinking we go to Kurovi, Wallapalooza, LHS, Tau, and then back to Z, and then down into Kokajina again. Here we go. 1.2 million. Should be able to pick us up a Dolphin when we get back. Whether or not we'll be able to afford to fly it is the question.
Go for departure.
Because for our Cobra, we need 132,000 credits just to cover the insurance. Driftage.
Flight control now offline. Hope to see you again, Commander.
Incoming mission critical message. Fuel scoping.
Alright, let's take a look. 40,000.
Fuel scope disengaged.
See, there's hidden bonuses to doing cheaper missions. Usually, I mean, granted, they're not usually huge bonuses, but your level of reputation usually will increase those bonuses as well. So just keep in mind that there may be time bonuses on some of this stuff. So even though we're only getting like maybe 20,000 credits for delivering data, it's may potentially be 30, or in this case over 50,000. Oh, and I'm not paying attention. So I'm going to pitch her down and back up, and then we're going to throttle back up again. Instead of throttling up, I just hit F2 to go to 75%. That way we don't have to worry about overshooting it again. I don't remember if we scanned, so let's do that again. Nope. Oh, we're way up on 15. Okay, let's speed up a little bit. And throttle back down. Coming on the green side.
Landing gear deployed.
Blocking bay access is desired. Violation. Make way.
Landing complete. Thrusters offline. Deploying ground services.
Incoming message.
Now let's take a quick look, see if we got anything going back to Kukujina. And back to our galaxy map. Okay, so we're done here. So we're going to bounce over to Wallapalooza. Two jumps this time.
Landing gear retracted.
Ship released. Access corridor is clear.
Frameshift drive
So
charging.
there are a lot of people that get bored or annoyed with this game really quick, and that's usually because they get into a grind mode. Like right now, we're kind of grinding, but I mean it's a relaxed grind. We're not really in any rush, and we're gonna be switching it up soon with a Dolphin, and then we can do some passenger missions, and then once we get some passenger missions, we can increase our credits, and from there we can more than likely get an Asp Explorer or something like that we can use for either exploration, or we can use it for mining. It's a lot more versatile than a Cobra. So something to keep in mind. It's only grindy if you allow it or make it be grindy.
Incoming mission critical message.
Meh.
Access granted. Please land on pad 01.
Pad 1. So I'm expecting this to be right inside the envelope.
Landing gear deployed.
Now, if we had come blasting through that envelope like we usually do,
Make sure you have authorization before.
we'd ended up turning around and all kinds of stuff, so usually helps to pay attention to the little stuff.
Solid contact, dispatching ground crew. You may have seen reports of disease outbreak on your Galnet feed, Commander. No cause for alarm just yet, but be careful.
Be aware of oncoming traffic in the access corridor.
Reputation. See, it requires cargo space. Which, ours, let's take a look. Consumer technology and progenitor cells. So those are, see how it says haulage on there? So those are the two that we're going to be dropping off at a later date. So if it says haulage on it, that's something that you need for a mission. So keep that in mind so you don't get rid of it. So we're going to take the reputation on this one. Take a quick peek. Oh, nope. All donates.
Blocking the docking bay access corridor is not permitted. This starport will not allow such intolerable behavior.
So we got 1, 2, 3.
Use your speed inside the dock.
Landing gear retracted.
Docking clamps retracted. You are go for departure.
Frameshift drive charging.
All clear. Have a safe trip, Commander.
Incoming mission critical message.
Ah, the pulsar. And how much are they giving us? 40,000. Not too bad. So we are currently at 1.275 million. And we needed 1.3, I think, for the Dolphin.
Warning, frameshift drive operating beyond safety limits.
And I think what that message means is you can do, let's see if I can find it before we get there. So when you go in here, you can use jet cone boost, and I thought there was another one. I think that might be what they're talking about. is a jet cone boost. It basically supercharges your FSD and allows you to jump further than you normally would be able to. But since all of our destinations are within our jump range, that's relatively irrelevant. Let's take a look at something real quick now that we're slowed down. So our jump range is currently 21 and 24. I think that's pretty standard. So, not sure. Alright, let's speed up again.
Docking request granted.
Looking for pad number 1. Throttle it down a little bit, drop our gear, there it is.
Landing gear deployed.
Whoa, dude. That was close.
Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
And reputation.
Incoming message.
Now we could, if we wanted to, also look up those for the stations that we still have to go to. But the thing to keep in mind, if you do decide to do that, is that that won't necessarily increase your reputation with the faction in the system that you're trying to boost. So if you're just doing credits, then that's fine, but I'm not trying to do that, so. Alright, so there's Kokajina. Next up, sometimes it does that and you just gotta move out of the way and then you can come back and actually select the one that you want to go to. 18,000, that's a little bit of a jump. That might be why it paid as well as it did.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged.
Someone picking a fight with us? Clint, huh? don't know who that was, but they're not in our contacts, so of no concern to me at that point. You can come try and pick my bones clean. And because it didn't say commander in front of it, that lets you know that that is an NPC. But because this is so far out, I'm only going to put it about there. And then, as you've seen previously, the closer we get, the further that distance actually is. So hopefully we'll accelerate fairly quick. Oh, we're already up to 20 times the speed of light. That's good. Make sure we do our scan if I forgot to do it. And you have to remember that we're using a basic scanner as well, so it doesn't scan the entire system. If you upgrade to an advanced scanner, then it will do the entire system, and all you have to do is drop into the system, do your scan, and it'll pick up anything that's in the entire system, which gives you better results as far as credit returns on exploration, which in turn gives you a better exploration rank, which ours is mostly aimless at the moment, but we're getting there. I'm kind of curious how many Fed ranks we've gone through, because as far as I know, most of these systems we've been going to are Federation systems, and you can usually tell if you go to the galaxy map and you go to this display and you go to power play. The red is Federation, I believe, and it's kind of a cluster in here, but you can see we are in the red for the most part. I take that back. This might be Empire. So as you can see, we are now slowing down so we don't overshoot anything, which is one of my pet peeves, one of my few pet peeves of this game. I'd rather get to where it's 7 seconds and be hauling ass and be able to cut to 75% throttle and then just you know, slow my way in there and land as typical, but I think it might be the mass of the planets around where you're going, and it just starts slowing you down anyway. So now we can pitch it down a little further and get this station to rotate for us so we can come right into the mail slot. Seeing as how 450 light seconds isn't too far. Cut throttle. And that should do it. Yeah, we'll leave it a little bit low because we're not quite as high on the entry as I want. There we go. That should do it. Seconds. See a 21. But we overshot it.
Landing gear deployed.
That looks like that's it right there.
Station home and enjoy your stay.
I made it to 1.3, but I don't think I think it was 1.37 million that we needed for a Dolphin. Plus, we want to have enough for insurance costs. So, money. Oh, let's go back to the map. And we're going here. We're gonna follow this guy right on out. And that's another reason why you don't necessarily want to hit your boost inside of a station.
Frameshift drive charging.
You are clear of the station. Go safely, Commander.
3, 2. Docking request granted.
Looking for pad 4. Looks like we want to come from the other side, so we'll reverse our turn here. Give ourselves some more maneuverability.
Landing gear deployed. Docking successful. Engines disengaged.
And now we top her off. Come on. Oh, there's one we can do. Dolphin we go.
Landing gear retracted. Ship released. Engines engaged. Frameshift drive charging. Incoming mission critical message.
Must be on the back side. I'm not worried about it. If we have to come in and circle around, so be it. 30,000. That's not bad. And you notice that I'm not deleting these. Most of these time bonuses, as soon as you complete the mission or the delivery or whatever it is, they'll automatically remove themselves because they're no longer relevant. Which is a smart development, game development strategy. Keeps the player from having to do too much cleanup. You know what? We'll just come straight in on this one. I'll actually fly around one. That way you guys can see what that looks like, or what the easiest way to do it is. So if you use the information I told you before, all you do is tell which direction it's rotating, and I hope you saw the arrows on that display last time we came out of Super Cruise that point to the end that you need to go to. So should be relatively easy. You know what to look for, you can get right in there. The only time it's usually a pain in the neck is if you're in something big that doesn't turn very well. Or it's slow. That's no fun either. Let's see what he is. Diamondback Scout, huh?
Scan detected.
Interdicted us just to look for, see if we had any cargo. He's gonna jump. And you'll notice he's running silent, so we can't lock onto him. There we go.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
As soon as we come out of here, we're gonna press F2 right away. Just because I remember how close we were. Yeah, it used to be where sometimes somebody would interdict you like that and you'd turn around and you'd shoot at them too soon, and then you would get a bounty for it. So kind of keep that in mind for future reference. That's why I was going to scan him first. Because if you do a scan first with a kill warrant scanner, not only do you usually get a little more income, but it makes sure that they're wanted and checks with them in the system. So. Alright, so look at the way it's rotating, and the one right in front of us right here is not a mail slot, so we have to go to the other side.
Lima, India. This port is under federal control. Submit your randomized security scans on approach.
Flip over.
Access granted. Make your way to landing pad number 3-4.
And we'll go to our headlock, headlook, or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to boost one more time and turn hard. Throttle down, right on in there. At 34.
2,000 meters from touchdown. Docking confirmed. Power down your engines. Station facilities are at your disposal, Commander.
Alright, let's see if we can get over 2 million here. I don't think it'll happen. Come on. These things are slower than I remember. And we're going to go with the rep. Alright, so we're going to check our transactions. All we got is that community goal we signed up for. And now, I'm going to back up and go to the shipyard. Sidewinder Eagle Hauler. Dolphin 1.337. So let's pick one up. So we're going to store our current ship. So you can see here what our current ship is worth, 2.377 million. So if we exchanged our Cobra for the Dolphin, we would actually make 1 million credits, which is kind of nice. But I want to keep the Cobras, so we're gonna store that one, and we're gonna get the Dolphin. Let's take a look around. See how pretty these luxury ships are. There's a nice front view. So you can see why these are allowed to carry luxury cabins. There's the rest of it. And it's small enough that there's only one crew member for it. So let's go back into Starport Services and do some outfitting, because current jump range is a lot lower than we want it to be. It's only 10.65, and we want to get that up higher. So at a minimum, let's see what we can get for FSDs. So 4A will get us up to 22.9. 4C will get us up to 15.2, which is tolerable. And it's only 178,000 credits. So, where's the 4D? 12.79. So we'll pick up the 4C for now. And then, let's see. I'm not going to have any weapons on this thing. Because it's agile enough that we shouldn't need them. So like before when we got interdicted and we just submitted to see what it was, we were in a ship that had defensive capability, so with the Dolphin I'll be making sure just to stick to running, so to speak. So 4E power plant, let's see if we can get a 4D. And that takes us up from 1554 to 1592. That's pretty decent. And we could probably even go lower than that if we wanted to. We're not going to be running any weapons or anything like that, so we don't have to worry as long as we have enough power for what we're running. So 3E sensors. Take those down to a D. Actually, you know what? Before we spend a bunch of credits, balance. So we need to. Insurance cost right now is 74,000. I guess I could have just looked down there instead of jumping out, but hey. All right, so we'll exchange the old one. Power distributor. So let's see, 3E, 15.73 is our jump range. A 1E. Let's see. 2A is a 15.89. A 1A is a 15.97. .99 with a 2D. So while we're doing this, instead of doing the guesswork, let's pull this up. Alright, sorry about that. So we can go in here and we already removed our hard points and we upgraded to a, let's go back, a 4C FSD and 3D sensors. so let's go to 4C, 3D sensors. Alright, if we scroll down a little bit, we got our power right here, so you keep an eye on that. So, we were looking at a 2A power plant. Let's see, max jump range 16.1. So if we go to the 2A, we're still good on that. That just affects charge rate, basically. And then, so we got a 2A power plant, which should be alright. Thrusters, let's see which one will get us the best jump range here. 16.8, 17, 16. So 4D is going to be the best one we can do, and you see the other ones are grayed out because you won't have enough power for them. Let's see, life support, we'll go with 4D, that should be the highest jump range on that. And if we do a 3D power, actually we might be able to get away with, see now these are red. So a 2D is about as good as we can go, or as low as we can go. Alright. So that means our speed will be 259 and 362, and you can see our jump range up here is 16.95 unladen, and once we upgrade this 4C to a 4A, that'll take us up to 25, which is fairly nice. It's just so if we want to do this, so 2A, 4D, so let's go ahead and start working on that. Power plant. Hmm. Thrusters. Let's see. What was oh, 40 life support, so we're gonna be able to do. And let's see, which power distributor are we going to do? So we should have A, D, C, D, 2D, 3D. So a C, frame shift, 2A power, 2D power. So let's see. 2A, 4D, 4C, 4D. Yep, and then 2D and 3D. And we're good there. And let's do optional. Okay, so we're going to want a, if you remember, let's see, we're going to have a 2E cargo rack. So we want to keep one of those. So we want to keep this one. Now what we're actually going to do is like this one, transfer, and we're going to swap with this empty compartment. So now our cargo rack is where we want it. Oop, dang it. Alright. So with this setup, which is pretty much what we want, so a first, a business, economy, and, or excuse me, first a business and 2 economy. So it's a 5E. They do not have a 5C first class. So let's see if we can go with the 4D. They've only got a 4. So this will be a 4D business. No, wait. They don't have anything that we want, do they? I wonder if you can't put first class in there. Well, we know we wanted this one economy. And we wanted this one economy. Right? Or did I just goof that? Economy, business first. Okay. Except that we cannot do... Oh, we can do it first. Okay. I wanted that business though. Can we do a 5 business? Didn't even look. Oh. Well, let's see what that's going to look like. $5D business, 4C first. So 10, 3, 4, 2. I was really hoping for more of a 6-6 setup, but it's not bad considering what we've got for options. So, okay, so here we want a 4C first. And a 5D business. This is going to... Ooh, we can barely cover our insurance costs. Alright, well, we got 5D business first and some economies, as well as our cargo rack. And I want to upgrade this as soon as possible. So in advanced discovery we need to get 1.5 million. So the one we have right now, you can see the active range is 500 light seconds. So anything that's further out than that we're not going to be able to scan. Whereas with an advanced discovery it's infinite and it's 5-second scan time. So it's pretty much the same across the board. We could do 1,000 with an intermediate eventually, but yeah, the advanced is where it's at. So, I think we're pretty much set in that one. Actually, a better option... I forgot about the fuel scoops. So 10, 3, and 4. So I might just put a 2E fuel scoop on this thing. Yeah, let's do that. No. Alright, so we'll have to keep it to transfers for now. But let's see what we have for options. I think I'm gonna end it here once we check some of these. So loading, loading, loading. Okay, so for example, let's check that one out. There's 353,000. There's 393,000. Let's see. There are economy and more economy. So yeah, this is why I was wanting to do this. Sightseeing adventure for 1.7 million. And once, so we're looking at transports primarily now. So that one we could pick up. We could pick these up as well. So yeah, it's a lot more lucrative. And you get to go sightseeing while you do it. See, once we get this reputation up, 25 business persons seeking transport. So I don't think we have 25 slots in total, but yeah. See, there's 420,000. Passengers help. Alright, so we will hold it off there, and that being that, I want to say thank you for everyone who tuned in. Anybody who's viewing on YouTube, I greatly appreciate that. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, as well as hit the notification. If you're following on Twitch, please please follow me there. Ooh, what's going on? All right. So yeah, if you could follow me there, that would be great as well. So I think that'll end it for this one, and don't forget to tune in next time. We're going to grab some passengers, and we're going to go on some delivery missions at first, and then we'll probably do, once we get things upgraded and we get some more money in the bank, then we'll do some missions where we can actually go do sightseeing things and so on and so forth. So thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.